Yesterday, we brought you the first part of our two-part series focusing on an historic double repatriation journey of the Tla'amin First Nation and sacred ancestral belongings taken from them more than 100 years ago. Chadis Leo joins us in the studio once again tonight to bring us part two of the story and share the historic moment when the nation delivered those artifacts back to the nation's lands in Powell River. Chadis, it must have been so emotional to be there.
It was very emotional, Stacey. You know, the morning they arrived, it was filmed with a warm welcome from elders, youth, and other community members. You know, it's so amazing to think that this all just happened thanks to one historic photo, this one here. The mortuary poles specifically were identified and repatriated simply because someone spotted them in UBC's Museum of Anthropology, incorrectly labeled, and compared them to an old photo. So now, in part two, we will bring you to Powell River for the emotional moment those poles and other sacred items made it back onto the traditional lands of the Tla'amin peoples. After a historic double repatriation mission, the Tla'amin First Nation is on its way back to its territory with its ancestors' belongings. All loaded up, the Tla'amin delegation begins the journey back to Powell River along the Sunshine Coast. After a long day of travel, it's not until the next morning when Tla'amin members gather on their land, not far from the location known as T-Squat, where their stolen mortuary poles once stood. Once everybody is in place, the precious cargo is rolled up.
We have a couple of baskets, the baby basket over here, and a couple more baskets over here that were made by Emily Tom.
Tla'amin Culture and Heritage Manager Drew Blaney spends a portion of the homecoming carefully explaining the origin of the poles, baskets, and other sacred items, making sure that everyone knows what he knows and what is yet to be discovered about them.
So this is a smaller mortuary figure that came from the Museum of Vancouver that was collected here in Tla'amin territory in 1865. So it's what we know from the notes is that it's depicting a woman that drowned. So it's a really sad mortuary figure here.
Although a sad figure, many are shedding tears of joy as they take in this historic moment.
I'm so happy today to be here, that I lived to see this.
Elder Elsie Paul, one of the last fluent Ayajutham speakers, is overwhelmed and knows this is a momentous moment for the younger generation.
And just talking about our culture too, and teaching the young people, talking about how we lived, how we grew up, and how we utilized the fruits of the land and all of that. So I feel very thankful today.
So, over the last 3 days, the Tla'amin First Nation have gone to the Museum of Vancouver, the Museum of Anthropology at UBC, and now on the third day, back on the traditional territories where these artifacts once stood. Now, the next steps is to get it inside the Cultural Center and Museum, set to open on June 21st. Blaney explains how much it means to have their cultural center, or Amzaya, almost completed.
How just Drew?
Just over a year, they've been constructing this building, but it's been a dream of our people for decades. This here behind me is our new museum space. On this side over here, we have our culture and language offices, and behind that we have a gathering hall.
This longhouse-style building will be the first big house in 100 years to sit on their lands. And this is where their ancestors' belongings will lay or stand proud.
This is where they're going to be housed for the rest of time.
Blaney says that a closed private event on June 21st will officially celebrate the end of construction. The full opening of the center is expected to happen sometime this fall. Besides that longhouse, the community also built an amazing food processing plant for both their game and their seafood, which just made me hungry looking at it. Now, after June 21st on National Indigenous Peoples Day, the Anzaya is going to truly be a staple of cultural revitalization for this community. Also, our friend BC Bob will be there on June 21st and will send us a small update on the opening of the building for our CHEK viewers.